Scopitone is a type of jukebox featuring a 16mm film component. Scopitone films were a forerunner of music videos. The Italian Cinebox, Colorama and Color-Sonics were competing, lesser-known technologies of the time. Based on Soundies technology developed during World War II, color 16mm film clips with a magnetic soundtrack were designed to be shown in a specially designed jukebox. The main difference between these and the earlier Soundies and Telescriptions was the fact that, like all modern music videos, all Scopitones featured lip sync to a pre-recorded track. Between 1940 and 1946, 3-minute musical films called Soundies, produced in New York City, Chicago, and Hollywood, were displayed on a Panoram, the first coin-operated film jukebox or machine music. These were set up in nightclubs, bars, restaurants and amusement centers. History. The first Scopitones were made in France by a company called Kamika on Boulevard Saint-Denis in Courbevoie, among them Serge Gainsbourg's La Pointe des Lilas, filmed in 1958 in the Port des Lilas metro station, Johnny Halliday's Noir C'est Noir, a cover of Los Bravos' Black is Black, and the Hully Gully showing a dance around a swimming pool. Scopitones spread to West Germany, where the Kessler sisters burst out of twin steamer trunks to sing Quando Quando on the dim screen that surmounted the jukebox. Scopitone went on to appear in bars in England, including a coffee bar in Swanage, where Telstar was a favorite. By 1964, approximately 500 machines were installed in the United States. By 1966, reportedly 800 machines were installed in bars and nightclubs in the U.S. at a cost of $3,500 apiece. Several well-known acts of the 1960s appear in Scopitone films, ranging from the earlier part of the decade The Exciters, Tell Him, and Neil Sedaka, Calendar Girl, to Bobby V, The Night Has a Thousand Eyes and Babyface, and Procol Harum, A Wider Shade of Pale. Later on, in one Scopitone recording, Dionne Warwick lay on a white shag rug with an offstage fan urging her to sing Walk On By. Another had Nancy Sinatra and a troupe of go-go girls shimmy to These Boots Are Made for Walkin'. Inspired by burlesque, blonde bombshell Joya Lansing performed Web of Love and The Silencer, and Julie London sang Daddy against a backdrop of strippers. The artifice of such scenes led Susan Sontag to identify Scopitone films as part of the canon of camp in her 1964 essay Notes on Camp. The medium's inability to lure the superstar British invasion acts of the era was a factor in its demise, as well as the declining taste of the subject matter. Several sources claim that the Back Porch Majority film from Mighty Mississippi from their album Riverboat Days, 1964, was equally instrumental in bringing down the format for its so-called indecency. Against the wishes of the group and its producer Randy Sparks, scenes of girls in 19th century period dress hiking up their hoop skirts were inserted into the performance. By the time protests could be raised and the offending material excised, the film had already gone out. Even though the popularity of the Scopitone had faded away by the end of the 1960s, the same concept was still in limited use throughout the 1970s by acts such as the Carpenters and ABBA, both of whose early productions were shot on 16mm film before transitioning to videotape. The last official film for a Scopitone was made at the end of 1978. In 2006, French singer Marie Galanter released several videos which mimic the Scopitone style. Galanter's album Uki features several songs in the French Yee style. She also recently hosted a weekly French television program called Do You Scopitone on the Paris Premiere Channel. In 1990, a selection of Scopitones was screened at the Jewel Box Theater in Seattle by Dennis Nyback. As of 2012, one of the few Scopitones not in a museum or private collection in the United States is at Third Man Records in Nashville, Tennessee. Many Scopitone films have been released on DVD or made available on the internet. See also Panoram. References. External links. Scopitones.com has many Scopitones available for viewing, downloading and purchasing. Scopitone Archive. NPR, Rise and Fall of the Scopitone Jukebox.